So Dubai driving the markets this morning as its neighbor charges to the rescue with $10 billion to Dubai. So can we say the worst is now over at last? Let's go to Dubai and ask Mohieddine Kronfol. He's managing director at Algebra Capital. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, in terms of what we're seeing, finally this check has come through. I think the first question would be, why have they waited for so long? There's been 3 weeks of uncertainty.
That's a very good question. There's no doubt that this could have been handled better, but this is not the first check that they write for 10 billion. I mean, their aid to date has been north of 25 billion. So I think what's actually happening right now is that you're removing a worst-case scenario or a disorderly restructuring, but nevertheless, we still have restructuring on the table. We've obviously removed the Nakheel story, but I think we're going to now just start pricing in a relatively orderly restructuring. And in that sense, it's a very positive development, and you see that reflected in both equity markets and debt markets related to Dubai.
Mohieddine, has Abu Dhabi asked for anything in return?
At this stage, they haven't, and it's unlikely that they're going to do so at the Nakheel level. I think, collateral, what's in stock for Abu Dhabi, if anything, are likely to emerge in details of the restructuring for Dubai World. But at this stage, we're still dealing with Nakheel, which is just one subsidiary out of more than 90 that Dubai World has. So I think with this episode, what we've done is that we've put aside a default scenario, and we're moving into a more orderly restructuring that will be probably on a voluntary basis and with a little bit more time for the authorities to sort out Dubai's contingent liabilities.
Mohieddine, how do we take it from here, though? You were saying, of course, this is only the tip of the iceberg, Nakheel. So there are a lot of other companies. The rest of the money will be used to pay contractors, suppliers, and interests. What happens to the rest?
Well, basically, they were pretty clear in their statement that this is just a first step, I think, to avert a default situation. I think they still expect Dubai World to enter into a standstill agreement and come, and bring creditors to the table and negotiate an orderly restructuring. At the moment, we're talking about Dubai World, but nothing precludes other state-owned companies from doing the same. At the end of the day, Dubai does have a lot of contingent liabilities. They need to be dealt with. I think all that this does right now is bring in the prospect of it being an orderly one rather than a disorganized restructuring with liquidations and things that would be negative for the market. If ultimately they get together, restructure in a way that does benefit all stakeholders as they say they would, this would mean that in the next few months Dubai could have a solution for its debt problems, and then we can start looking forward with the markets on a stronger financial footing. I think right now, though, this is positive, but we have to wait for more information on the reorganization law, on what they intend to do with the restructuring, and then we can make, we can have a better opinion as how things will move forward.
Mohieddine, in terms of now, you say this is orderly. Is Abu Dhabi going to put extra cash in this? Is there something that at the moment you would rule out, or it's a possibility?
I think the restructuring would typically involve, if it's going to be a meaningful restructuring, it should entail a certain amount of, on the one hand, liquidation of investments that are not essential. On the other hand, you're going to have to look at the companies that they have built up, many of which are good companies that they intend to have as ongoing concerns. And those companies, it's reasonable to expect that there is a certain amount of haircuts on the one hand, but also possibly in exchange for equity, so that really all stakeholders, come out of this, with a good taste in their mouth.
Mohieddine, thank you so much. Mohieddine Kronfol there from Algebra Capital. Well, the